Good morning, the cool, bright and sunny day. It is Wednesday, the 26th of July. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. So what I'm going to pull from here next is Numenera, Jade Colossus, Ruins of the Prior Worlds by Bruce R. Cordell. This is a campaign and setting for the Numenera role-playing game published by Monte Cook Games. Now this is using the Cyber system, so this is actually for the first edition of the game, which I've had a bit of a trouble trying to track this one down. I was interested to see what was it like a campaign kind of looked for Numenera, which is actually 10 years old as I make this video. I remember sort of like just how big of a hit Numenera was when it came out in 2013, because it presented sort of like a couple of new styles of play and a whole new setting essentially that allowed you to do sort of like adventuring and dungeoneering style play in a futuristic post-apocalyptic civilization age. So, explore a mysterious ruin of the prior worlds or build ancient sites for your campaign. Mysterious, powerful, and usually dangerous, the vast ruins of the prior worlds contain secrets and marvels beyond imagining. Explore one such giant ruin, the Jade Colossus, in detail, or create your own using the Numenera ruin mapping engine to build ancient sites, large or small, all with the wonder and weirdness you expect in the Ninth World setting. Book concludes the Jade Colossus, a massive prior world site that's emerged recently from the Earth. Brave the Yovok Hive, navigate Rana's Way, or seek the counterpart at the heart of the Red Labyrinth. Ballarat, a prosperous but isolated city partially uprooted by the Colossus. Explore the Myria Fortress, trade at the Ceaseless Market, or seek information at the Church of the Whisper. The Numenera Ruin Mapping Engine, a robust system for generating maps and content for the prior world sites. Expand the uncharted areas in published adventures, make the Jade Colossus even bigger, or create entirely new prior worlds and ruins for your campaign, all with the mystery and weirdness of the Ninth World baked in. New character options, including new foci and organisations, and new creatures to encounter. Great advice for building new campaigns that make the most of the weird Ninth World setting, as well as for integrating the sites in this book into your ongoing campaign. So that promises quite a lot. And, so we open up, we've got like a basic introduction and contents page, credits page. Sorry, introduction is here with sort of extra advice, and then quickly onto the new Ninth World campaign. We've got advice on using the book and an overview there of the Jade Colossus itself. So everything sort of like you need to get started, overview, presenting as a city of explorers, importance of the Midnight Stones and their effects and artifacts that's going to play a big role throughout the campaign. Player characters picking them up and using them and discovering their use, and then how to start a new Numenera campaign. Because essentially one of the things about Numenera when it came out was that sort of like it was a completely playable system, and it gave you I think 3 starting scenarios. You know, you see if you get started play automatically at wilderness adventures, dungeon adventures, and so on. And this is essentially designed. Okay, here's a new starting campaign point, and then we've got campaign threads and character connections to how to tie your player characters and their explorers into the campaign. Tables of those. And the same again for actually playing the Jade Colossus. So you've got really 2 options there. You know, you could use a mixture of both tables, and then added we have new foci, and the great thing about the Cypher system and Numenera is the range of character options. You know, you really have a sort of like only like kind of like 4 sort of like I would describe them as classes in the core rules. But what they do and how they do them is really quite a lot of fun because you've got so many options, you know. you can be a sneaky explorer who delves into dark places, or a quiet librarian who reads books and studies, or a brawny warrior, a strong warrior who wields two weapons. And from that, you sort of like combine elements to create interesting characters. You have characters who are really quite focused, and develop those elements of the character as they go along. So here we have options for the characters I can do who does this, who delve too deeply, and all of the options as you sort of like as you go up in the sort of like the 6 or so levels of the progression. Then we have speaks in exaltation and all the character options for that. Taps the void. So you've got several of those, and we have the organisations of the Jade Colossus, so Heritage of the Colossus, Jade Protectors, and then we get into introducing the point before the beginning of the campaign itself. And there we have options. Actually, we don't have even just one option for the opening scene of the campaign. You've actually got a table of them, so you can actually run multiple introductions if you want to. So you've got sort of like 6 of those, and then we have the skin of the Colossus, beginning to talk about the actual Jade Colossus itself in here. So there we have a description and map of Ballarat, the city partially displaced by the appearance of the Jade Colossus. And one of the things about the Numenera setting is sort of like it has a mixture of science and fantasy. It's also a science fiction kind of setting, but you kind of play it in a fantasy sort of style. You have the constant discovery of ciphers and artifacts and devices of previous ages, where it lives up to Clarke's law that any sufficiently advanced technology is akin to magic. You can see that it's technology, but the effects are essentially the equivalent of magic. And there's a sort of like nice sort of crossover between the two. And then we have a device to getting the player characters about, and then we get into the inside of the Colossus itself with the runner's way. So you have this giant, essentially edifice, sort of like looming over Ballarat, and the player characters are going to explore it in detail. So, Rana's way through to the mouth of exaltation, individual sight, through to the hand of fury. And you see the hand is everywhere, even with multiple fingers there. See what they're so sort of like. There's 6 fingers on there. There's 7 fingers on there. Through to the eye of transcendence, and you can see sort of like how the theme is kind of developing around those titles: hands, eyes. Then through to the red labyrinth. And there is sort of like there's something that's almost intestinal to these maps. And then we have other ruins. Looking at the ruins of the Ninth World. Sort of very examples of those. You know, they're ripe for the game master to take and develop. And then we get on to generating ruins of the Ninth World. For the game master who wants to develop her own, we have the Numenera ruin mapping engine. So, you know, we sort of tables here for rolling the main feature, corridor specifics, and discussion of these elements as well. Extra advice alongside that, you know, making connections to known locations, route markers, exit tables, room sizes, chamber tables, and this sort of thing, you know, just echo all the way back to the Dungeon Master's Guide for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where you had the tables for creating dungeons on the go. We have tables of chamber features. So they're quite lengthy. So you've got not just one, but you've got actually chamber features too. And these have to be lengthy because, you know, they have to have numerous options, because the player characters are going to you know, enter numerous chambers and discover their contents. And then we have things like abhuman colony tables for creating those within prior ruins, access way specific tables. So table after table, creatures, things you can populate the corridors and chambers of your prior ruin. Energy discharge table for random events of discharges of energy. That's just as long. And complete the descriptions for each entry, quite detailed. Explorer situation table. So this is okay. Essentially, these are the positions of other outsiders who've begun to explore the ruin, as well as the player characters. Integrated machine tables, devices that can be found within the walls and features of your ruin. Interstitial gravity tables. So lots of tables. Matter leak tables. So you can really sort of like go through, give your tables your ruins flavour and feel, make them stand out as individual locations with the few roles. You know, you've got relic quality tables here, rupture tables, shaft tables, vault contents. And again, these are quite detailed table entries. So, for example, tomb with a 30-foot, 9-meter tall humanoid creature wearing some kind of mechanized armor. The entity is dead and mummified, but the equipment could be salvaged. And that's it. You know, you game master, you take that away and go, right, what can I put in that room? What can I colour that room with? And then, because it is Numenera, you've got a weird event tables to go with that. For example, rumbling and shaking presages a flood of viscous brown fluid, moving a short distance each round, spreading to fill several connected corridors and chambers, potentially drowning any creature caught in its path. The fluid is somewhat nutritious, sweet, and sticky. It subsides and drains away over the course of a day. And then we have an example location. And then we have creatures of the Colossus are here at the end. And the other great thing about Numenera is the artwork. These are fantastic pieces of art. All the way through, and then got an index. So yeah, that's Jade Colossus, Ruin of the Prior Worlds for Numenera, published by Monte Cook Games. So, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings and where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, or in this case a supplement for Numenera, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of Nook. We'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.